how he identifies.
How do you identify?
Actually, I identify as...
Oh, here we go. It's that long plethora of,
what?
oh my God.
Wait for it.
I will. Let me get a chair.
Because tell me, why will you not get a chair? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Why can't men just be men and women just be women? Who came up with this idea? Because building an idea through your head, changing your agenda and then following through, because it's a woke society, crazy.
You know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? Mothers?
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language.
To include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't identify as women but can become pregnant.
Then in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman.
You are trying to deny someone of their identity and deny what their life experience is. And that doesn't seem like a moral stance to me.
I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue. And I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity. Do you?
You are not a medical professional, and abortion and pregnancy is a medical concern. That's not your identity.
I promise you, that's my identity.
Guys, this is how you got to do it. If you bring logic and facts, they're going to run away or they're going to crumble. They have no argument. All you need to do is identify as right. But you see this woman, she's also a feminist. Think about how ironic this really is. She probably complains that women earn less than men because of the patriarchy, but at the same time she doesn't even know what a woman is. She can't describe or define what a woman is. So you could just be like, okay, well, all these high earning men, don't assume their genders. You don't know if they're men or women. Therefore, this whole wage gap is non-existent.
Should trans women be included in feminist conversations? How about in women's spaces?
Yes, they're women. What's the question? Trans women are women.
Man, where do this delusion of women come from? How can trans men be women?
Hell no! 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 I refuse, no!
So I want to come at this from the position of an athlete. So I play semi-pro basketball, semi-pro volleyball. So when it comes to athletic spaces, I don't think that trans women should be allowed into athletic spaces. Again, we work very hard for the little opportunity there is in the space because we're not as entertaining as the men. Sorry, we're just not. And so it's like you're going to take the little opportunity that we're given. And the problem is we can't compete. We can't. I'm 6 foot. If I go up against a 6 foot guy and I play basketball with him, he's gonna body me, even if I have years more of training. And so it's like you're taking away the little opportunity that we're given and we all work so hard for, and you're just giving it back to biological guys. It's like this will be the end of women's sports.
Have you tried confidence?
Eli, hold on a minute.
Sorry,
Eli.
confidence can't make me bench what a guy benches.
Wow. Look at that. Have you tried confidence? Have you tried a salad? But let's be real about this, yeah? These people are so delusional. What has confidence got to do with it? If you're a 250-pound man going up against a 120-pound female, I don't care how confident she thinks she is. She's never going to win. It's like me going up against a gorilla and I get completely ragdolled and then the woman's like, well, have you tried confidence? Like, shut up.
Travis Allen, he was a girls soccer coach at Randolph Union Middle School in Vermont. He was just suspended from his job without pay because he complained about a male student looming around the girls' locker room. Then the school punished Travis Allen's daughter, Blake Allen, for speaking about it too. Travis...
This is outrageous. You can suspend someone for doing the right thing because of a small reason like not acknowledging the woke culture. Oh, God.
You complained about a man in the women's locker room and you were punished?
Correct. I made a social media post that referred to the male student as a male, and I was punished because I misgendered him.
Blake Allen, what did you do wrong in the eyes of the school, and how were you punished?
I was in the locker room and the trans student walked in. The rest of the team was in there. I was really uncomfortable and I left, and I told the school and they just shut me down and said there's nothing they could do, and I was later suspended.
How old were you when this happened?
I'm 14, I'm a freshman.
And when you complained about a dude in the girls' locker room, you got suspended?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and my pronouns are she, they, z.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
And I am gender fluid.
But of course you are.
But I'm the type of gender fluid who never goes fully into man.
Everybody knows you never go full.
Man. Maybe I'll go fully into woman, but I'll never go fully into man. But I will go into mask.
What?
So when I'm feeling, feminine, my pronouns are she, her. When I'm feeling a little less feminine, but still feminine. It's going to be she/they. But on the opposite end of the spectrum, I am Caesar.
That's not a real thing.
That is because to me personally, and this isn't kosher, this isn't orthodox, I personally view them to be somewhat masculine, like he, him, except you put a little Z because, you know, it's a little different. So like you say like he's over there, just say Z's over there. So as I wake up on this lazy Sunday afternoon, my pronouns today are Caesar.
It's as simple as that.
Oh guys, honestly, check this out. He wouldn't know masculine if it kicked him in the balls. I will not participate in your psychosis. It's just getting so ridiculous. Imagine in the workplace. This is how I know these people don't have jobs. It's not realistic, is it? In the workplace or any environment. Like, what do you mean? Like, why am I going to have to remember like 100 different pronouns for different people? And if you misgender one of them, then you can go to prison. Like, no, we're not going to live that life. At this point, there's going to be more pronouns than there are names.
We have a new superstar, the Canada midfielder Quinn, the first transgender, non-binary footballer to play in the Women's World Cup. Hang on a second, hang on. Is she they, whatever, is she a biological male? No, it turned out she's a biological female.
You see even how confusing this thing is, man. This thing got to stop. Come on.
Oh.
She, so.
So what is she? She is a transgender non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? How can you be transgender and non-binary?
Because that's what they are.
I just want to get my head around this. If you're no longer identifying as a woman, what are you doing playing in the Women's World Cup? She doesn't qualify. They don't qualify, even though there's only one of them. They don't qualify for the Women's World Cup because they used to be a woman, but now they don't want to be a woman. So now we have to call them they for being a transgender, even though they're non-binary. And they're still playing in the Women's World Cup, and we're all supposed to go, well done, Quinn, what a moment! What a moment! But no one's quite sure what we're celebrating.
Total free world. We're advocates of not mistreating little children to death. That's the position that we oppose, the F them kids position. Third time I've heard it today. What's that? F them kids? We do think that that's what it's about. We think that the reason people like yourself like abortion is because you hate kids. And because you hate God who created those kids and made them in his image.
I think murder's pretty cool.
Murder's cool?
Gender dysphoria of the type that you described is relatively rare, but if you leave kids alone till they're 19 or 18, 80 to 90% of them settle into their biological identity, although about 80% of them are also homosexual in their orientation. The pathway for him, before this was all politicized, was you'd have a child who was gender non-conforming temperamentally, somewhat like you were. You didn't have a pattern of female interests, and then prone to depression and anxiety, and then that combination would produce this gender dysphoria, and that would become quite intense around the dawn of puberty. But if you just backed the hell off and waited, those kids would settle into their body, but generally adopt a homosexual orientation. Gender dysphoria of the type that you described is relatively rare, but if you leave kids alone till they're 19 or 18, 80 to 90% of them settle into their biological identity, although about 80% of them are also homosexual in their orientation. The pathway for him, before this was all politicized, was you'd have a child who was gender non-conforming temperamentally, somewhat like you were. You didn't have a pattern of female interests, and then prone to depression and anxiety, and then that combination would produce this gender dysphoria, and that would become quite intense around the dawn of puberty. But if you just backed the hell off and waited, those kids would settle into their body, but generally adopt a homosexual orientation.
Yeah, so it's been known since the beginning of time that kids are incapable of making rational decisions. That's why they can't get tattoos or get a driving license and all the rest of it. But now they're allowed to transition at a young age. And if you notice, whenever you see the parents of these kids, they're actually really weird themselves. And it's quite obvious they've probably just pushed their ideology onto the kids. And now the government in some states is saying, oh yeah, you can transition. When the kid's clearly been brainwashed. and you're going to let them do irreversible damage. Like, it's insane. It really is.
About schools, our kids, they sleep 8 hours, right? They wake up morning, they go to the school, they spend there like 8-9 hours, and we don't know with who they spend time. Maybe these teachers, you don't even know what they're thinking, what they have on their mind, and you let them to give education to your kids. It's very dangerous. If you not agree with these teachers on your life position, but you let them teach your kids, and when they become 16, you want they become like you.
There are so many stories around woke culture, and it's something that I just feel like it's beyond me. The reason why I'm saying it's beyond me, because it seems like everyone have their own version of this woke culture, and it's like the majority want it to stop. Anyway, why am I even saying too much? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe, and let's meet on the next video. Crazy.